Welcome to Oryx Learning. Today's lesson is on Unit 5, Functions, Lesson 6, Construct Functions. Samir is planning on having his birthday party at a skating rink. The rink charges a party fee plus an additional charge for each guest. For planning future parties, Samir wants to know what the party fee is and how much they are charged per guest. All they are given is this table representing the number of guests and the total cost. If you'd like to find out how to find the party fee, please follow along and we'll revisit at the end. The initial value of a function is the corresponding y value when x equals 0. You can find the initial value of a function from graphs, words, and tables. Identify the y-intercept of the graph below. The y-intercept is the place in the graph that it crosses the y-axis. In this example, we can see that the graph crosses the y-axis at a value of -1. This makes the y-intercept the coordinate 0, -1. Identify the slope and y-intercept of the graph below. The slope is represented by rise over run. We can see that from one point to the next, the graph rises from 1 to 4, which is a value of 3. It runs a distance of 1, therefore our slope is 3 over 1, or 3. The y-intercept is again the place where the graph crosses the y-axis. In this case, it crosses at a height of 1, which is the point 0, 1. Amir has a certain number of baseball cards in his collection. The table shows the total number of cards in his collection over several months. Assume a linear relationship between the two quantities. Find the y-intercept and the slope. Looking at the number of baseball cards, the y's, we can see that it increases from 6 to 9, 9 to 12, and 12 to 15, 3 each time. Looking at the x's, the months, we can see that it increases from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and 6 to 8, which is an increase of 2. Therefore, the slope, the change in the y's over the change in the x's, would be 3 over 2. In order to find the y-intercept, we would have to go backwards, as the x value starts at 2. The y-intercept has an x value of 0. So if I go backwards, subtracting 3 and subtracting 2, I would get the point 0, 3. 6 minus 3 is 3, 2 minus 2 is 0, so the y-intercept would be 0, 3. The library rents out laptops on an hourly basis. The rental cost, shown in the graph below, includes a setup fee and an hourly cost. Find and interpret the initial value and the rate of change. We can see by the graph that the initial value, or the y-intercept, is at a height of 5. This makes the initial value 5. The rate of change, or the slope, we can see that the rise is 6 and the run is 2. Therefore, the rate of change is 6 over 2, or 3 over 1, or just 3. So the rate of change is $3 per hour. This means that the library rents out laptops for $5 initially and charges $3 per hour after that. Back to our birthday fun. If Samir is planning on having his birthday party at a skating rink, and the rink charges a party fee plus an additional charge for each guest. For planning future parties, Samir wants to know what the party fee is and how much they are charged per guest. As we can see in the table, the total cost, y, increases by 3 each time, from 53 to 56, 56 to 59, and so on. It is plus 3 each time. The number of guessed x increases by a value of 1, from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and so on. Therefore, our rate of change, the change in the y over the change in the x, is 3 over 1, or $3 per guest. In order to get to the initial value, we must go backwards to an x value of 0. So subtracting 1 from the x value and subtracting 3 from the y value, we would get the point 0, 50, which is a $50 party fee. Therefore, Samir would say we have a party fee of $50, and then they charge $3 per guest. So remember, the initial value of a function is the corresponding y value when x equals 0. You can find the initial value of a function from graphs, words, and from tables. That is our lesson for today. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed it.